Hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Get in the Garage.
We're a music podcast.
For music lovers.
We've got a fun show planned for you today, but before we begin, as always, remember to like, comment, and subscribe to the podcast, as well as review it on Apple Podcasts, too. That helps awaken the algorithm and let us know we exist. Who is the special guest listener this week, Luke?
Tell your pharmacist.
Tell your pharmacist.
Tell your pharmacist about our podcast. They might like it.
Go on down to your local Brooks. Although Brooks is gone now.
Brooks is out of business. Go to a
That's right.
Walgreens or CVS. They're the only two pharmacies in existence in
Before
America.
you shoplift any deodorant, tell your pharmacist.
You got to get that speed stick, man.
They lock it
Anyway,
up now.
Today we're going to do a little bit of a shorter episode, but still full of fun. Luca, can you tell the good people what we're talking about today?
Yes, today we have music news on the podcast, like always, and then we are going to cover the latest album by Pink. It is called Trustfall.
Trustfall.
Then we are going to play a fun game where we are going to talk about divas. We'll get there when we get there.
Yeah.
It'll be fun. Stick around. Enjoy
Alex?
it. This is Get in the Garage. Roll up that
Play
garage
the-
door. Play that theme song. You don't have to make the noise. It's happening.
Oh, yeah, I forgot.
You don't have to make the noise. It's going to happen
We're
every
master
time.
impressionists, though. I love making the noise.
I know. It's just you every week now. It's just you going.
That was more like the Star Wars door, though.
This is not the garage you're looking for.
Are you some kind of Jedi?
You're some kind of Jedi.
Thank you.
Little episode 1 for you. Okay. Music news. This is music news. Luke, would you like to lead us off?
Yes, the Rolling Stones are prepping a new album, and that's news in and of itself. But what really made the news was Paul McCartney and Ringo Starr are maybe going to get featured on this new release. So that's very exciting. As we all know, the Rolling Stones and the Beatles have the rivalry. They gave the Rolling Stones their first song. The Beatles did. I Want to Be Your Man. And from then, we have all that. So new album from the Rolling Stones, and apparently Charlie Watts is going to be on it, even though Charlie Watts passed away.
The ghost of Charlie Watts.
Yep, they were working on it for a long time. Producer.
Spooky
Do
drums.
you know who the producer is?
Let me guess. Don was?
No.
Rick Rubin.
The new Don Was. Who's the new Don Was? We've been talking about him in this podcast.
Watts.
Yes, Andrew
Oh,
Watts
What a guess.
at the producer's helm. So hopefully
Okay.
this is going to be a reinvigorated Rolling Stones. We have not had a original album since 2005's A Bigger Bang, which was a bigger letdown, if you ask me. But
That was 2005?
That was 2005.
What about that Lonesome in Blue, though?
Lonesome in Blue is a blues cover
Covers.
album, so it's
Oh,
not an
yeah.
album of
Yeah,
originals.
yeah.
It's just kind of a fun thing for the fans. But this is exciting news for me. I guess I'm excited, but also dismayed in a lot of ways because
Yeah.
you could have made an album while Charlie Watts was alive. You could have made one while he was alive.
You could have
So-
made one when literally everybody else was alive.
Um,
Did they say, does it specify and say whether or not they're expecting, because I know this is kind of like a newer story, but are they expecting that Paul McCartney and Ringo will be on like a
Nobody
lot
knows.
of stuff that nobody knows yet?
Nobody knows. It's
Yeah.
all a mystery. They don't even know if Ringo and Paul are on the same track together. So it's all up in the air.
Interesting.
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 So.
Well, we'll look forward to that, and we'll probably cover it whenever that happens.
Oh, we are definitely going to cover a Rolling
you
Stones
can't
album if
not.
that comes out.
You
so.
can't not. I have some music news. Guns N' Roses have announced the 2023 World Stadium Tour. Jeff can finally see his favorite band. I don't know if they're going to be playing any Chinese Democracy. That remains to be seen.
What we have here is failure to communicate.
To communicate. It kicks off in Tel Aviv, Israel this June. And crazy dates. I mean, they're going Denmark, Belgium, England, Scotland, Germany, Switzerland, Italy, Netherlands, France,
So
Romania,
this is
Hungary,
the-
Greece, New Brunswick.
This is the overseas leg
Quebec.
of their second overseas leg of their reunion since they've gotten back together. I would think.
Yeah. A bunch of U.S. dates as well.
Axl Rose's voice as of late. Issues.
That's subpar.
Issues.
What was that video? Didn't he sing? He sang at a funeral.
He sang at Lisa Marie Presley.
Thank you. Yeah. that's
funeral?
what it was. Yeah.
I said it, and while I was saying it, I was like, "Was that who it was?"
It was Lisa Marie Presley. Yeah, and he got a lot of crap for it because everyone was saying that his voice sounded like crap. His voice kind of sounds like crap. I mean, this is like just what it is, you know. But
if they're gonna take a suggestion from me, which they should, Guns N' Roses, if you're listening,
We know that you are.
lower your key, please. Nobody is
Yeah, 'cause they're
upset
doing songs
if you
in the
just.
original key.
It's so ridiculous. He's so high. He's like singing, and he has like no voice
love
for
it.
it.
And those old hips are gyrating. It's like, bro.
It is not quite on David Lee Roth level, but it is getting there soon.
He's between David Lee Roth and Vince Neil. He's somewhere in there, in
Yeah.
terms of in terms of how bad it is. But it's an interesting story. I don't know. It made me think about you got all these bands that are coming back and doing it. Some bands are more successful as far as the way they sound than others. We talked about it before. I mean, I just said Vince Neil's name, but like the Motley Crue stuff was a little embarrassing to say the least.
Is
is embarrassing. And but Def Leppard sounded great, so who knows, man? I don't know.
I don't know. What do you got, Jeffrey?
Today, the group Daft Punk released a proclamation from the alien starship that they are releasing the 10th anniversary of Random Access Memories, their final album. It will include 9 additional tracks, 35 minutes of unreleased material. This seems to be a yearly tradition for Daft Punk. 2 years ago on 2/22, they announced their breakup. A year ago on 2/22, they announced the 25th anniversary issue of their first album. And then this year, the 10th anniversary of Random Access Memories. So this might be a yearly kind of thing that they do. 2/22, they're big into that, they wear robot costumes. They're big into the myth of their group and all that stuff. So I'm looking forward to it. Famously, that album had Get Lucky, which was a #1 hit for many weeks. It won the Record of the Year Grammy. The album itself won the Album of the Year Grammy. So, yeah.
10011000.
Yep.
That's just me saying I'm happy about it.
Yeah.
In robot.
He's fluent in robot.
All right.
Yeah.
Slim Shady
Oh, I saw this.
is beefing with the Real Housewives. I will tell you which Real Housewives they are to be
Did
exact.
you hear about this? It's like, come on, Eminem. What are you doing, man? You got nothing better to do?
Robin Dixon and Giselle Bryant may be Real Housewives.
AKA Who Knows?
They are
and
the
who cares?
housewives of, where are they from? Oh, the Potomac. The housewives of the,
Oh,
of
the very
Potomac.
famous Potomac.
I've never even heard of the show. Anyway, they started a company called Reasonably Shady, where they want to sell their stuff from their podcast, also named Reasonably Shady. Marshall Mathers has something to say about this, and he thinks, and his lawyers think, that the Shady brand is very recognizable with who he is as a person. Shady Ltd has already been trademarked by him. So they're going to court, and they're going to figure it out. And I hope they do. I don't think Eminem has much of a claim, I'm going to say. Just as my personal opinion on the thing.
Over a word.
Yes.
Yeah.
So the word shady obviously means like the other connotation of being like not
Sketchy.
truthful or sketchy is the first one that comes to mind. And way later down the road is Eminem and one of his many nicknames.
Yeah, it's just for me. I'm like, did the M&Ms come out and be like, hey,
Well,
you're kind of jacking our stock,
That's
Thank
why
you.
his name is spelled that way.
Well, it's Eminem,
Well, yeah, but
Marshall Mathers, right? We have Slim Shady.
yeah.
We can go by 3 names. It's like too much
Too
to lay claim to 3 of them.
Yeah.
So that's how I feel about that.
I don't think that's gonna. I mean, I don't know if he lawyers up. He's got that money, so I don't know if he lawyers up.
We'll
but
keep
I
you
don't think
covered.
there's gonna be any.
Can I add on to this real fast?
please.
We also covered the Drake 21 Savage fake Vogue cover that was released when their album Her Loss came out last year. They settled out of court with the owner of Vogue, and we do not know how much money they settled out of court for,
Oh, it's
but
not
they
disclosed.
settled out of court. So I just like to add that on to the legal filings here.
Oh,
Lizard
interesting.
King.
Yeah. So some consumer sort of related news. Record Store Day 2023 release list has been revealed.
The big list, guys.
The big list. I kind of have a love-hate thing when it comes to Record Store Day. I remember at one point when I first started collecting records, I'm sure the same is with you too, Luke. It was kind of an exciting day, It was one of those days where like I should take that day off of work and like go to like Newberry Comics and like do like a full
I
thing.
did.
I feel now like it's just kind of like
I like most most of the stuff that gets released. I think it is fun. It burdens a lot of indie owner and stores, and a lot of them don't participate in it because it is hard to participate in, and it costs a lot of money overhead. A lot of the releases are frivolous. A lot of the 45s are like kind of weird, not great. But there's been some wonderful releases that have come out through it, and I find that most of the releases that are super fruitful from it and like really great, they always get repressed in a larger number later. I'm talking about Neil Young stuff. But there's been some like really rare Bob Dylan stuff that's come out in there that there's fun stuff, collectors galore. Have fun, guys.
Yeah, some of the drops that they're talking about, that's kind of in the conversation. Pearl Jam's bootleg Give Way, Wilco, Cross-Eyed Strangers, and alternative Yankee Hotel Foxtrot, Old Dirty Bastards, Return to the 36 Chambers, the dirty version. My favorite, Bjork is dropping the Fosora remixes. I don't know how to pronounce that because I don't care. An expanded edition of Tom Tom Club self-titled.
Rock on Tom Tom Club.
Lots more. The Doors, Dolly Parton.
The Doors
Cure.
have one every
year. They're really milk. Robbie Krieger's just like, let's get paid, baby. Let me, the Cranberries, the Rolling Stones, Paul McCartney, a whole bunch of releases. So we'll keep an eye out for that stuff. The Mars Volta, that's pretty cool. Madonna, the Ramones, Stevie Wonder.
Banger, Peppa Pig.
Peppa Pig. Thank you, Alex.
Right on. Thank you.
Get
Thank
that
you.
Peppa Pig 45, guys. Picture disc. Jeff, you got anything?
Yes, I believe today it was announced that the what do they call it? The sentencing was done on the man who killed Nipsey Hussle in spring of 2019. He was sentenced to, I believe, 60 years to life in prison, and he shot him in broad daylight outside of his store, his clothing store, and
Justice.
See ya.
2019, March of 2019, I think that's when that happened. So it took a good amount of time for that to actually.
But I'm glad. I'm glad they,
Justice
everything
was served.
worked out. Yeah.
And it worked out for once, and it's so.
Yeah. That's a big headline.
Thank you. It's good to see that something happened from it.
Yeah.
Do you have
Luca.
anything else?
Well, I think
I have one more thing.
We're
before
anticipating,
I have one more thing before we watch
fun
this
thing.
fun thing over here. I just want to note that the Kinks Twitter account has been, put under warning on every single tweet for being sensitive content because their account is called, their name is The Kinks. So Twitter thinks that the Kinks banned Twitter account is a Twitter account about sex kinks, and therefore has been labeling and hiding all the Kinks tweets about everything. Dave Davies is very upset. He says, "Dear Elon Musk, would Twitter please stop putting warnings on everything from the Kinks? We are just trying to promote our Kinks music, not Kinks."
Wait till they read the lyrics of Lola.
Things are going to get strange. But I just wanted to shout that out because I thought that was incredibly funny. And, the internet age, it never ends. Alex, what do you have to show us here? Because you have something very fun prepped for us.
I am a lover of Youngblood's accent. It's
Youngblood.
very fun. Youngblood.
Yeah, it's like
Probably, obviously, break stuff. And Matt Healy from 1975 has some beef with
the Blood.
Literally everybody in the world for some reason.
Sure.
And made a great impression of Youngblood.
Okay, let's watch this.
Yeah, let's play it. Roll the tape.
Oh, I gotta refresh. Hold on.
Oh my goodness.
Refresh the tape.
We're getting there. We're getting
There
there.
we go. Wait, why is?
I have no idea.
Oh, we're getting there, guys.
There we go.
Here we are.
Yeah, right, guys, I'm so fucking angry because someone's blown themselves up in the fucking in the Ukraine, and we're not gonna stand for that because we're the fucking children, the fucking underrated youth fucking generation, and that's what we stand for. Well, I don't stand for stuff. I stand against stuff. There's not a particular thing that I stand for. I just stand against stuff, and it tends to be the most morally obvious stuff. Like that everyone stands for. Fuck the patriarchy.
Okay, so Matt Healy is
Why is he
accurate.
beefing with Youngblood though? What's the beef?
I don't know. obviously is probably more like UK culture, right? That
yeah.
maybe that we're not picking up on here, but there's obviously like some pop hate going on, and I'm here for it a little bit. I'm here for musicians beefing, especially pop musicians, I guess, in some way. That's kind of funny. That did make me laugh. What do you guys think about that?
He's just making fun of a guy who's, like he said, is kind of just always making videos about how he doesn't like certain things. It's nobody really likes those things.
Oh, I see why. So earlier this month, Youngblood made a dig against Healy after the 1975 frontman's controversial appearance on the Adam Freeland Show, in which Healy and the podcast hosts mischaracterized viral rapper Ice Spice's heritage and mocked numerous accents. Quote, "Love listening to three privileged white dudes sit down and objectify a young black female artist who's blowing up." Youngblood wrote, "Welcome to your 30s, I guess." So
There's just beef going on
There's
all
just
over the
beef
place.
It's
going
the
on.
internet, man. Everybody wants to be.
Well, I mean,
it's
they
nonsense.
did make make some videos with some pointed. You could squash your beef, but I mean, they beef up. They're doubling down.
yeah, what's the
Here's
beef?
to Matt
There's the
Healy
beef.
having more beef on the table. So I'm here for it.
And real quick, just before we go, just some fun, sad, arguably. The Gorillaz movie was canceled, guys.
Oh, what are we gonna do?
You
That's a
know,
bummer.
it was supposed to be an animated film on Netflix, and Netflix pulled out, and
Wow.
now we don't get a Gorillaz movie.
did
Do you
talk
want to
about
hear
that.
about one of my favorite things that never happened? They were supposed to be a tour with the Muppet Band, Dr. Funk and the Electric Teeth, or whatever the heck the Muppet Band is. And they were going to play on stage as puppets, and then the backing band that you would never see was My Morning Jacket, and they were going to be the Muppet Band, and that was going to actually happen, and it never happened.
My Morning Muppets.
Bummer
Jesus.
summer.
Bummer summer. All right. Well, that does it for music news. Let's take a quick break. And when we come back, we're going to hit you the new album review and play the Diva game. So
It's a Trustfall, baby.
stick around. All right, everybody. Welcome back to Get in the Garage.
We're the music podcast.
For music lovers.
Welcome to the second half. It's time for the new album review. Jeffrey, can you tell us what we're talking about?
We're talking about the new album from Pink. It's called Trustfall. This is her 9th studio album. It has 13 tracks. It's 44 minutes long. Let's do a Pink quiz. How many top 20 hit songs does Pink have?
I'm going to guess.
Top 20.
Oh, top 20? I'm going to guess 15.
Ooh, I'll go 10.
21.
Oh, I win by
Wow.
Price is Right rules.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Her last top 20 hit was in 2017. She's had
21.
4 number 1 songs. And she is still thriving, I would say. This album features lots of different collaborators, producers. She's working with her old friends Greg Kurstin, Shellback, Max Martin, and others. I enjoyed this record. What do you guys think about it?
I liked it too.
Yeah.
I listened to this record and I felt like this was the record that I wish that Shania Twain record was. But that might just be me. I don't know. Luke?
Yeah, I will agree with that sentiment. I know that they are age differenced. Shania Twain being almost 60, I think she's 57, and I think Pink is 42, if I'm not wrong. So they are different age. I'm just saying compared to a pop album that we did last week that had some country flavoring.
43.
Thank you. It's had some country flavoring to it. I thought that this was way better. I thought it was produced better. The songwriting was better in a lot of ways. You want to start hopping in there?
Yeah, I mean, for me, one thing that I noticed about this album that I really liked is I felt like a lot of these songs played to her strengths as far as like her vocal range went. I didn't feel like, I mean, there's a couple moments where she hits some higher notes and stuff, but there's never really this sense of like struggling vocally with what's going on with what she was doing. And I think a lot of that has to do with just, music theory, man, what's the key of this song, like all that kind of stuff. Super effective.
I thought her voice sounded great on these songs too. I thought she was like hitting notes that were like impressive, and the melodies were interesting, and she was really using her voice
great
on a lot
hooks,
of
too.
using it.
I've always enjoyed her voice. She has that slight bit of rasp or like kind of edge in the voice a lot of times. I think she very well communicates emotions and kind of always has. Like that batch of big pop singers from the early 2000s that she came up in, she always stood out to me as not being like bubblegum, but being more heartfelt and real and raw and all that kind of stuff. This album features her well, I think, too, because the songs are everything from kind of not rock, but like that powery, poppy, mid-tempo or ballad type thing. She has a couple that are kind of pop punky. She has a couple that are like folksy, Americana, almost pop country style thing. And she has a couple that do that, like, they're not R&B songs, but like the vocal delivery is kind of in that R&B world.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought this was just a good album. Solid.
Yeah. The only thing that if I have one sort of critique of the album is that there is sort of genre hopping.
Right.
I don't know that that's necessarily a bad thing, though. I think it shows that she's capable of some genre hopping, like the country music style stuff. I'm like, oh shit, country.
Yeah.
Pink could do like a country album, and I
Yeah.
would probably like buy into it. You know what I mean? I thought the features were all great. There's only 3. There's First Aid Kit, the Lumineers, and Chris Stapleton. All 3 of those were awesome songs. You know, I love that Chris Stapleton song too. There's like no drums on
Yeah,
it.
the
It's just like
closer, yeah.
it's just the album closer. It's just kind of like this sort of mood thing, you know. And Chris Stapleton, obviously, like Jeff said before, the guy could sing the phone book and it would sound good. You know, and even the Lumineer stuff, First Aid Kit, I love the features.
Oh, okay. So if we're going into the features, I liked the songs that were on there as features. I thought they were really well done and executed well. The First Aid Kit song sounds like more like a First Aid Kit song, and Pink kind of doesn't really shine her voice out as much as I'd
Right.
like it to in that song, and it kind of blends into a more First Aid Kit, but it's a good song. It's produced well. And I kind of feel that way a little bit too with the song before that, with the Lumineers, Long Way to Go. Again, that one kind of just feels more like a Lumineers tune that Pink kind of sits in. And I liked on this album where it was her really just like giving herself on there, and that those were bad. I just kind of felt like it detracted a little bit from the whole like real feeling of like a more cohesive record for me, where it was like all Pink, like up front. And I guess that maybe she didn't want to do that because there's maybe some like a lot of piano ballads if you kind of take those 2 away. But at that, they were a little slow. So for me, they just didn't work in the album sense, but they worked as songs. They were good songs, not bad at all in any means.
Like, so I kind of have a viewpoint almost complete opposition of that, because I liked those feature songs because she kind of just falls into the whole of it all. Like especially the First Aid Kit song, which was Kids in Love. That sounded like she was just the 3rd member of that duo, and they all traded stuff, did different harmonies. And then the Lumineers one remind me of the Just Give Me a Reason song from like a decade ago that she did with Nick Roos from the band Fun. Just Give Me a Reason.
Absolutely.
Which was a #1 hit, where it's like just trading verse with each other. And I like that song, the Lumineers song, which is called Long Way to Go, because I enjoyed the bridge with the nice organ and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, I liked her kind of just becoming one with the song, because she's hitting it so hard on the rest of the album.
Yeah. I thought that opening with a ballad was a pretty bold choice,
Yeah, that
too.
was interesting.
I was like, oh, weird. I mean, not weird. The sentiment of the song itself, it's about her father who recently passed away, which was kind of one of the main sort of emotional inspirations, I'd say, for this song specifically, but probably for the album itself, as well as her children dealing with COVID-19 when they had COVID-19 and all that kind of stuff. Bold choice to open with a ballad.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I didn't know if I loved it or I hated it. I couldn't make my mind up. I'm like, well,
I liked it.
you know what I'm saying?
I liked it because it was a very clear signal of like, I am 43 years old.
Yes.
I am just making a record. I don't care about going like da 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 from the top.
Right,
Like,
yeah. I
that's-
think
You know?
initially I was kind of like, oh, weird, a ballad. But
Yeah.
then upon multiple listens of the album in the whole, because I just did the whole album, and you know what I mean? Like, I think that's how most of us listen to it anyway, just in one solid, just boom, this is the album front to back. I liked it more and more, where I felt like I didn't like certain things. Never Gonna Not Dance Again. I didn't love that song.
Oh, that song.
That was my
also-
favorite song of the record.
Really?
Yeah, because to me that was like it reminded me so much of that like Diana Ross stuff. It had some
yeah, I
some
see
kind
it, I
of
see
interesting disco era type of chord changes.
I love the instrumental side of
Right,
it, though.
like,
the instrumental side of it, I was
It
like,
was
this
a little
is a banger.
a little windier than current pop
Yeah.
stuff. Like in contrast, like I love the Lizzo stuff, but think about the Lizzo disco type of stuff where it's kind of like if Lizzo wasn't singing on it, it sounds like every disco era song ever made chord wise. And this sounded a little bit more unique, a little bit more like off the wall Michael Jackson type of songwriting.
Yeah.
All right, did you guys? I saw that somebody. I didn't pick this out, but somebody said that the song sounded a lot like "Can't Stop the Feeling" from Justin
Oh
Timberlake.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Which I thought it did, but
That's what it was.
Except
I
that
was trying
song,
to remember.
that's a song where it's like, here are the 4 chords
Right.
forever.
and it's that's from the Trolls soundtrack, which I was unfamiliar with.
Oh,
so.
have you seen Trolls?
No, because
It's an excellent.
I've not
It's an
seen
excellent
Trolls.
movie. It's a
and I've-
cinematic masterpiece.
I had not heard that song until referenced.
It's about
I
trolls.
think Pink gets the song. I think she gets it because it's more artsy, and her take I think is more well done. The Justin Timberlake one I listened to, it was okay, but they're kind of the same flow. But I loved Pink's version. I'm with you on this. I liked that song. I thought it gave like movement to the record,
Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
like it was get this party started vibe. But like for this, because
Yeah.
now we're doing like 70s throwback music, not like whatever that was. That was all its own. I think
It was like fun 45-year-old mom music.
Yeah.
Which like
Yeah.
I'm into. Go
yes,
for it.
Yeah, and she's, and that's who she is on this record too.
Yeah.
It's like, and when I thought of when I listened to this record, I could not stop personally thinking of my own mother, who sends me Pink songs like this reminds me of like you or like our family or like something.
Yeah.
And I thought of my mom a lot when I listened to this record. I thought it was a great record for somebody like my mother. Like this isn't my go-to music to listen to all the time, but as like a pop record from somebody that's been in the industry a long time, this is a really well-formed, solid record for that market and demographic, and it's produced well, has interesting songs on it. Artistically, I know where this woman is coming from because she's telling me on every song explicitly. I
Yeah,
love
that's the
that.
thing. That's the thing about this record is there's no. It's not. It doesn't feel like a put on. You know what I mean? She's just like, this is what's happening. This is who I am. This is how I feel. These are my emotions. And you go on the roller coaster ride with her. You know.
I also wanted to like talk about too. If we're gonna talk about Never Not Gonna Dance Again, the big poppy hit on here. What about Last Call? Like that really good country tune.
I like that one a lot, too.
Later in the track
Yeah.
listing, I thought that was
Nice
such
textures,
a good
yeah.
pop country tune.
Yeah.
And it's has a lot of the sentiment that the lead-off track has.
Mm-hmm.
When I Can Get There, but it's done more in like a like country like.
Tremolo guitars
Yeah.
and wide open.
And
yeah.
it's like
Yeah.
it says a lot of like the nice things about her father. Like I hope, like I miss you and all these things, and like the memories they have together. And it's done in like a really fun way. And I thought that was like great and ready for country radio if it accepts it. So
I also really
Yeah.
like the electro pop music on this record because Pink has always kind of been in the kind of same category as Robin's music at time, the Swedish pop singer, and Robin also worked with Max Martin for a long time. And I don't know if Max Martin and Shellback produced both Trustfall and Runaway, but I think they definitely produced Trustfall, which has that drive and like, and it's just like very dancey, singable. You could hear it in a club, you could hear it on radio, and I like that kind of like persistent driving electronic pop thing.
I thought it gave
Yep.
that record a lot of like airiness too. It separated a lot of the piano ballads in it, and I like that too. Texture, and again, even on those like dancey songs, she's giving a lot of herself lyrically on there instead of like this is just like a dancey beat and I'm gonna say dance over it. Trustfall is like all about how she feels and how life is like just everything in life is a trust fall. Like she's really putting herself out there in those, and it works.
Yeah, I did love. So here's the thing: is we've covered a lot of records, lots of records this past year. In the
8
past
months we've been doing this.
8 months, and there's a lot of albums where all the songs are in lowercase letters, all the songs are in uppercase letters. Some songs are just symbols and characters and stuff. I thought that it was really clever to make the album, like the album title song, like as the single, I guess, the title track, sorry, in all caps, but everything else is just regular. I thought that was a nice little touch.
I didn't notice.
I enjoyed that.
I noticed it instantly because I look at like all these that we do, and I'm like, oh, that one's different on Spotify. It's not all caps. It's
Yeah,
like
right.
One of them's in caps.
Right, and I thought that was kind of a clever thing to kind of be like, hey, this is, and maybe that's something that we'll see going forward. Like maybe, I think that's a good idea where it's like the singles are in all caps. You know what I mean? So that way people know.
I've seen artists do that.
Have you? Yeah. I've never seen that before. I thought that was really cool.
If you have one of those, shout it out in the comments. We'll check it out.
But yeah, I agree, man. I loved the piano ballads on this, but I love that kind of thing. I love that sort of like raw emotion where everything is just kind of like, as a vocalist, if you just got a piano going, there is no place to hide. So you really gotta just send it and do it. And I thought that she was super effective in that as well. So.
Yeah, I like the song "Feel Something."
Feel
which
Something.
I think that was the one co-written with Teddy Geiger. I just like the melody was very nice. Nice is a crap way of saying the melody was very interesting, and I thought unique, and like it sounds like a million songs while also sounding like its own thing.
It was kind of like Adele-like, but Pink like infuses her own personality in it, and you're just like you're caught up in Pink's life and her, trials and tribulations.
And I think the thing is too is that she gives you like the Pink thing, like in that song "Hate Me." She's singing, and all of a sudden it's just like,
I like that one too.
Like, hey, ho, ho, welcome to the shit show. You hear like the group vocals like yelling something in the back.
That
so
was the
there's
na, na,
some
na,
of that.
Na, na, na. That was that type of
of
stuff.
that
Right,
album.
yeah, and it still gives you that flavor. So you get this rawness, this emotion, all these things, but she still peppers in some of that fun stuff that she's kind of known for doing, and that punky kind of attitude sort of thing.
I read that one. That was like she did a lot of press for this that I very much read and ate up. I love that she did a big press tour for this. But she said that one was like she got in a fight with her husband, like went to the studio and just wrote like a silly song about it, like get it off her chest. And she was like, oh, it was funny, but like this album has all the it has life, death, silly arguments on it, really heavy topics. And,
She's to put in perspective, I was thinking like her first album I think came out in 2001, and like what I would say was her peak like on the radio thing was like 01 to 2010, but then she's had a couple hits since then. It's like her and Beyonce are the only ones from that era that are still like putting out stuff that's still like hitting radio.
I was thinking this as well. Definitely, because it was crossing my mind.
I would have never thought that 20 years ago.
The Moulin Rouge
Yeah,
song
right, yeah.
that a lot of the big pop artists are featured on. Pink seems to be the only one from that group that is consistently been making music the whole time.
Because who was in that group?
Stopped.
It was her. It was Christina Aguilera,
Lil Kim.
and Missy Elliott.
Yeah,
So.
really. Yeah, so
very interesting. And
even back then, Lady Marmalade, I listened to it today. I've always thought Pink was the best part of that song.
Yeah.
Throw It On, man. She just sounds the best. She has that grit. She has that cool like.
I bet she doesn't.
sounds better.
I bet she doesn't oversing the whole thing.
Yeah.
Christina Aguilera, we're looking at you.
I wasn't throwing digs over here.
I'll throw the
Or
digs.
undersings the whole time. Maya.
Yes.
You sound
All right.
good.
You're all right. You're fine. We hope
Lots of auto-tune to help those notes along.
We hope you're doing
I
well,
heard
Maya. So let's do quick ratings then. Let's go around because I'm interested in seeing how you guys are rating this. Jeffrey, would you like to lead us off?
Yes. I'm going to be honest, and I really enjoyed this record more than I thought I would, and this album is a lot better than I thought it was going to be when we talked about reviewing it. This is an 8 for me. It's a 7.5 at the least for me, and I'm going to say it's an 8 because the stuff I really like on this album.
Yeah.
And I really only kind of don't love 2 or 3 of the more ballady type things, but those are the types of songs I got to listen to them for a couple weeks before I'm like, yeah, I'm into this.
Yeah.
Yeah, so an 8.
I think I'm going to go with Jeffrey as well. I think I'm going to call this an 8. I feel the same way. I'm not a huge Pink person, but I grew up in the TRL age. Pink was somebody who was on the countdowns and and all that kind of stuff. I really haven't listened to much Pink in the more recent past, aside from the hits. I'm going to say 8. This is a solid record considering, all things. It's a great record, man.
I'm gonna go 7.7. Get a little pitchforky on you guys. My only deterrent was I wasn't in love with I love the features. They sounded cool. Just for an album's sake, I could have used a bit more condensed and more Pink. So 7.7. I liked everything on this album. If you like Pink, you're gonna absolutely love this record.
Agreed.
If you have fallen out with Pink, check out this record because it's really, really, really good. It's really good for what it is. It hits all the marks for me.
Yeah.
Now,
Pink.
before we leave this record, you mentioned your mom being a big Pink fan.
Correct.
What do you think would your mom's favorite song in this record be?
I would probably say the lead-off track. When I get there, she would probably really enjoy because it's very emotional and heartfelt.
Yeah.
So that would probably be the one she would like. My mom also likes these narrative songs. I don't know. I think she'd like the First Aid Kit song a lot because it was all it's all what these things.
We
and,
were under
life.
the bleachers.
Yeah,
and,
and,
we
kids,
grew up.
Kids in
and we
Love.
have
Yeah,
no-
it's like these kids grew. It's like that kind of thing.
Is that the name of the song? Kids
Yes,
in Love.
Kids
right?
in Love. Yes, exactly.
I was like, it's like the stories of kids being in love.
So, my mom resonates a lot with that. And Mom, check this record out. I haven't talked to you this week, but you're gonna love.
You're gonna go to your mom. She's gonna be dangling from those silk scarves, doing acrobatics, listening to Pink.
It's a trustful baby.
Right on. Well, let us know what you think in the comments below. Did you like it? Did you hate it? What do you think? What's your rating?
What do you Pink?
What do you Pink? Pink. Moving on. Moving on, we're going to do a quick little rapid-fire fun thing. We normally do thumbs up, thumbs down. This week, we're going to decide...
Alex, our host.
What is the name of the game?
What is the name of the game?
Divas, Duchess, or Queen?
Yes. So we're going to decide. Alex has a list of 21 names, you said?
24. I
20
added a couple. that I decided.
Oh, a couple
He put
of last
Maya
minute.
on the list.
Yeah, that's why he's like, how did I forget Maya? So we're going to decide if the following are divas, duchesses, or queens. So, Alex,
Queen's the highest.
Queen's the highest.
Diva is what they're going for, and then Duchess is on the way, on the road to Diva-dom.
On the way to Diva-dom.
Duchess, Diva, Queen.
Duchess, Diva, Queen. All right, Alex, hit us off. Let's go.
So some of these may be not particularly within the category.
I'll go.
We're going to start right to left. Jeff starting first, Mikey
Okay.
going second, Luke going third. Like I said, some of these may not be particular in the category, so they may get ranked low. But
Popper is lowest.
Papa,
Wench.
Oh, we can't. We got canceled.
rude. How dare you?
I'm sorry.
Town folk.
Let's kick it off. Number 1, starting with Madonna.
Oh.
I mean, she's a queen. She's a queen like Diana Ross is a queen, where she hasn't done anything in 30 years, but she's a queen. She's one of the big icons of 20th century music.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to...
I repeat, 20th century, which was 23 years ago, but she's a queen.
I'm going to agree with Jeff and say queen because I believe she is a queen, but I don't like Madonna, so you're a duchess in my heart.
I'm gonna also say that Madonna is a queen, but if she keeps on this making this terrible music train, it might get demoted by the end of it. We'll see.
You've been stripped of your crown.
Moving on. So a little newer now, Katy Perry.
Ooh.
Katy Perry's a big diva, and I was looking at names and thinking about things. She's had way more hits than I think we realized. She's done Super Bowl halftime shows. She's done Vegas residencies. She's a diva. She's a big star.
I will agree with Jeffrey. I will also call her a diva.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna be the odd man out here. I'm
Let's
gonna
do
go
it.
Duchess on this one. She has big hits. But those big hits were one central big album, I think, and kind of before that, I'd like to see some reclaim of that legacy, and then I think it's fully in shape.
There we go. There you have it. Next.
Mariah Carey.
Oh.
Queen of Christmas herself.
Queen of the North Pole, and that's it. Her
Mariah Carey.
her kingdom does not go beyond the North Pole.
Mariah Carey is a diva for me. Lots of iconic songs, but iconic songs done in an 8-year period and, whatever, 12-year period. I wanted to put her as a queen, but she's a diva.
I'll agree. I'm gonna go diva with Mariah Carey too. I just can't. I don't.
I'm gonna
'cause
go-
thinking,
You have to
what
be an
is
icon if you're a queen. You have to be like,
Yeah,
well,
you're
right. I'm thinking like
above
She's
the
not.
fray.
in my mind, what like I don't know if they're on the list, so I don't want to say a name, but I have an idea of who I think a queen is, and I don't think Mariah Carey matches that, so
Sure.
I'll agree with Diva.
I'm gonna go diva. Also, I think like the part of being in the middle of diva is like getting into some good beef, and I feel like Mariah Carey is like good for getting into beef. Diva.
There we go. Mariah Carey's a diva. It's unanimous.
Moving on, Fergie.
Oh,
well, the Duchess herself is a Duchess.
agree.
What was lower than Duchess?
Townsperson.
Oh,
Popper,
townsperson.
Popper.
Popper. She peed her pants once, but that somersault is pretty
she
intense.
peed her pants more than once, man.
The somersaults when she's doing
I'll
that.
tell you this.
Guns N'
I'll say this.
Roses
She
song.
is the queen of singing the national anthem. But other than that, no, Duchess.
She's the Duchess herself.
Yeah,
And
she's
also-
the Duchess.
Shout out. Go listen to the Duchess album. That album is like stacked.
It's fergalicious.
It is delicious. Fergie.
Moving on. So a little bit later, somebody more
Okay.
real quick. We scoped kind of early or later 90s, mid 90s to 2000s, not going too far past 2010. So moving on, Adele.
Diva. Big diva.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll say
Needs,
diva.
needs some time to marinate.
I'm gonna say
before-
diva,
queen.
but
yeah.
I think Queen is coming.
Yeah.
I feel like she's getting there.
Yeah, you
Is
give her some more time.
The audience interactions
Yeah.
lately on her residency are really bringing
Yeah.
me into Queen
And
status.
she's always you know what I mean? Like everything she has this sort of
Queen
She is on the queen trajectory.
Queen
yeah,
in
she is,
waiting.
Yeah, she's queen in waiting.
Because
yes.
I think when she's
What's
in
your
her
princess?
when she's mid 40s, like let's say 2 or 3 more albums.
I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Christina Aguilera.
Diva.
Popper.
She's a diva, but she's like a diva emeritus because she like was a diva for the 4 years she was hot,
Yeah.
and I don't know. But what has she done in 15 years? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. She has diva energy, but I call her a duchess.
Duchess all day for me. If you could tell, I'm not like a big Christina Aguilera fan. Duchess. Thank you.
Yeah, Duchess.
Duchess. I'm gonna say Duchess. It's just where I am.
Because I'm thinking she had that status for that 4 years, but like, who gives a shit?
If she
Who
kept,
gives
if
a
she
shit?
kept up her status and
Yeah,
like kept
yeah,
releasing like albums that were
Yeah.
like of that status, diva. But she's been off the
Yeah,
radar for so long.
Duchess.
Duchess.
Yeah.
Nice.
You're right.
Michael, I'm so sorry. Bjork.
Bjork. Oh,
Bjork is a diva because around the world she is an iconic person, musician, artist, all that stuff. Here in America, like so few people know about her and all that stuff. But she is, mononymic. Like she's known, face and name Bjork. Like she's a diva.
I think I'm gonna go. Even though I'm not a Bjork fan, I feel like she's kind of like queen status for what
Nice.
Bjork
For what
does.
she does, yeah.
Bjork's queen of that. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna say Bjork is a queen in her
Love
own
it.
way. I love this choice. I love this inclusion. Thank you, Alex, for bringing it into a different way that I wasn't even thinking about originally.
I'm going to abstain from voting
From a man who has never listened to one Bjork song.
by choice.
Sugar cubes, bro. Get on it.
All right. Moving on. A little bit of a.
Can you talk into the microphone louder,
Yep,
please?
I apologize. Moving on. Next is Gwen Stefani.
Duchess.
Ooh.
Oh, you're going Duchess?
I've never been. I
That
like.
is
I like
bananas.
don't. I like don't speak. I like
Ooh.
cool, and not much else.
I'm gonna go queen.
Queen.
Oh my god.
No, I'm sorry, not queen. I'm sorry, not queen. I misspoke. I'm gonna,
Behead this man.
I'm gonna say diva
Put
on
him in the
this one.
stocks.
I think, and it's not for her like solo stuff. I feel like I'm going diva for her No Doubt work.
Yeah,
I feel
she's
like
a diva,
it's
you're right.
it's like she fronts like a band. She's been doing it for a long time. There's a lot of great No Doubt songs that I really love.
Yeah.
But
She's a face on like whatever reality show singing thing.
Oh yes.
She's been a judge. She's like known. She's
yeah.
a known.
Yeah. You know what?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
status.
She's married
is,
to Blake Sheldon.
yes. Correct.
Yeah,
I'll say that right.
she's a Duchess musician in my opinion, but she is a diva
As far as an
personality. I
icon,
guess.
yeah,
I,
I agree.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like
Moving
that.
on, a little bit different. Celine Dion.
Oh.
Celine Dion.
She's the queen of Canada.
I'm gonna say. Can I?
Go for it.
Queen. For this reason, the Titanic movie theme song, "My Heart Will Go On." It is ubiquitous in my heart as being like she's just. She has that status to me. She's all she does is belt out these like heartfelt songs kind of
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
I'm gonna go Queen
You know
because it's
what?
weird to see her in any other light. That's how I always see her.
I'm going to agree with Luke and say Queen. Also, as a fuck you to that list where they didn't put Celine Dion on that list of like the greatest singers of all time.
Oh yeah.
So you're a queen for us, Celine.
She is.
Dion.
She is a queen, and she was a diva until she started doing all the Las Vegas residencies and like night after night after night delivering. Watched a YouTube video of her performing. I can't remember the name of the song, but one of her big iconic songs she sings, and it was like right after her husband had passed away, and it's like the most emotional live music. I'm like tearing up thinking about it. It's one of the craziest videos ever. Check it out. Queen status. Yep.
Ooh, I like it.
Queen Celine.
I
baby.
like it. Celine Dion, she's queen.
Celine Dion.
Moving on, Shakira.
Oh.
Shakira.
I don't know.
Do
Okay.
people would the average person recognize her by picture if they didn't have her name under it?
No.
No.
So that's why that's like to me you have to at least be that to be a
But
diva in my mind.
Here's my question: Is Shakira still like worldwide?
Worldwide, right?
But for
Yeah.
us,
She's a diva worldwide, but I think in my heart and in America she's not.
I would agree.
But
I don't know.
I'm saying
Yeah, I'm torn.
don't know.
South American diva, North American
Duchess.
Duchess.
Oh my god.
I like that.
She's many things to many people.
I'll buy in with that one.
Yeah,
Moving on.
we'll agree.
I'm uneducated.
She-Wolf is her best song. If you don't know that one, it's a good one.
Moving on, Lauryn Hill.
Lauryn Hill is a diva because she made one amazing album and then dropped the mic, and that's it.
See you later.
Yeah, I'll go Diva.
Oh, I was gonna go Queen because this is
Wow.
my reasoning. Is she did the To Kill a Mockingbird thing, my one thing is kind of what I had to say. I don't want to do any more in this medium anymore, and I can respect that. And it's such of high quality, the Fugees album and the score and
Miseducation.
thank you. So I think it has this like mysterious coolness of it that makes it like Queen status of like mysterious cool. I'm into it.
Right on. there you
That's
have
my
it.
reasoning.
Moving on, Jennifer Lopez.
Jennifer Lopez, again, maybe not as a musician on its own, but everything full package. She's queen, man. Huge movie star, huge music
Oh
star.
yeah, because I didn't even think about that.
Selena Los Dinos.
Huge movie star and music star. She's had so many #1 hits. Like if you look at the Wikipedia,
Yeah.
and she is like status, like known everywhere.
She is.
She's
Yeah.
she is in a bunch of good movies too.
Yeah.
She isn't she in
Out
that?
of Sight,
That's the movie I was thinking of.
yo, one of the best movies of the '90s.
Yeah.
So in my view, she's a queen.
I'm gonna call her a diva. I'm gonna go with diva. She has got points taken away from her because I heard that she is a terrible person, and I know people who have actually had firsthand interactions with her and
Oh.
said that she is a very, very mean person. So you're down a notch, J-Lo. You're a
Oh.
diva. in
Didn't
my
she also
eyes.
date Alex Rodriguez from the Yankees?
She did. She did. And Mark
So
Anthony.
did Madonna.
Oh.
Speaking of which,
Mark Anthony.
Yeah, married to him.
Yeah.
Had kids with him.
Yeah.
so I'm gonna go J Lo. That sounds like some casino gossip, by the way.
Yeah, it sounds like some Greek American
That sounds like
bullshit.
some-
Listen, I
casino.
know a guy down
That
at
sounds
a
like somebody
casino.
being a dick to someone and be like, you know what, this fucking lady, she doesn't know. Like,
that sounds like casino gossip.
I know some casino gossip.
So I'm gonna go Queen on that one. I'm gonna go Queen. I like J Lo, but she's just not as big in my heart.
Yeah.
A little more underground for us here. Not necessarily specifically in the pop category, but somebody that's really recognized is Fiona Apple.
Okay.
Fiona Apple is my queen.
It's Jeffrey's queen.
So I'm not even going to discuss it. Queen.
Whoa.
I don't
She's
know.
my favorite female artist of all time.
Yeah. So
Queen.
that's it. I mean, I don't know.
I think I'm gonna go Diva on this one. I like Fiona Apple. She doesn't she has that like energy going on. But it's more like when I feel like it.
Yeah.
So
Reclusive diva.
Reclusive diva.
Ooh, I like it. I
She's
like
in
that.
she's like Rapunzel. She's
Way up on the tower.
tower.
yeah, she's in the tower.
Watching
With her 15
watching court
dogs.
TV.
Court TV. Yeah. All right.
Keep up the good
What
fight.
are you saying, Mike?
I'll go Diva. I'll go Diva with that. Yeah.
Fair. Moving on, here's a superstar, Beyonce.
Queen.
Queen.
Yeah, Queen. Just ubiquitous.
We'll call it Queen.
She's
Bee,
the biggest.
for Christ's sake.
She's the biggest pop star right
Yeah.
now. So
Somebody reviewed today, Pink.
Oh.
Pink's a diva.
I think she's a diva.
I'm gonna go Diva status on that one as well.
Yeah.
Moving on, Rihanna.
Ooh, that's an interesting
Rihanna
one.
is queen.
Rihanna, I apologize.
Yeah.
Queen.
You're going Queen?
I mean, the Super Bowl halftime show, it's 12-minute montage of like, oh shit, all of these songs are huge hits.
Yeah.
And she's got the entrepreneur, the lingerie line, the the cosmetic stuff. She's
Yeah,
like
and she's an
she's a
international
billionaire.
pop star.
She's my age, so like she has another 30 years
Yeah.
to do all.
Are
you
we?
know, it's
Are
like-
we?
I'll meet you there. I'll say
It's
Queen.
Get in the Garage officially nominating her as Queen. Queen
Yeah.
nominated.
Queen.
Yeah.
It's official.
Nominated
Yeah.
Queen.
I like it.
Yeah.
Moving on,
Agreed.
Avril Lavigne.
Oh.
Townsfolk.
Begging for change, wearing a pink tie
Get a job.
I'm dressed
on a
for,
skateboard.
I'm dressed for work. Avril Lavigne. I
Alms
feel
for the skateboarders.
she's got. I don't know. I feel like Pink is the more in that kind of like it's not fully like pop punk, but Pink's more of that person in that
right.
style, in that image from that time.
Yeah.
So I feel like she's not even. I feel like Avril Lavigne's not in contention in my book for this.
Oh, what's yeah? I don't know.
I
Well
would
loved,
agree.
but not in contention.
Duchess at best, because like I could name 3 maybe songs,
Yeah.
and she doesn't, as far as I know, doesn't do anything outside of music.
Yeah.
Which whatever, lay low and do your thing. But
Yeah. So Duchess at best is the
yeah,
is the overall.
she's just a skater boy. See you later, boy.
Yeah.
Moving on, I don't remember including this one, but I wrote it down. Alanis Morissette.
Oh.
Alanis Morissette is a diva. She's had a few albums, but she has that one iconic, huge. She has such a unique voice, and I think maybe not for our generation or the next generation, but definitely for Gen X, she's huge.
Yeah. And
Like ask anybody between 40 and 55 years old, she's the biggest female artist of that era.
I'll meet you there too. I think she's got diva energy. She's got that kind of like, kind of thing about her that I really dig. So I think I'd say diva's pretty accurate.
Yeah. Also, for those listening, Mike flipped off the camera, but that's the energy that she has that he likes.
Yeah, I love that energy. I'm
so
all about it.
yeah, I'm there too. Diva all day.
Cool.
Great.
Kelly Clarkson.
Diva, big voice, big personality, talk show.
Yeah.
People, name and face, and American Idol, and hits, good songs.
Yeah. I'll meet you there. I'll say diva.
Since You've Been Gone's a rocker. I love it. It's a jam. And yeah, and since she's had that talk show, I think is elevated into diva status because she's like covering songs every week. She's having fun.
Yeah.
Her personality's out there. Diva.
Diva.
Sheryl Crow.
Sheryl Crow's she's a duchess. I like the stuff that I like, but also it's like the stuff I like was off of that one album that was released in 1993 or whatever. Saturday Night Music Crew or whatever it's called.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
I don't know.
that's
I feel torn. I feel
I,
torn. I'll say Duchess
And she has
too.
a
I'll say
Kid
Duchess
Rock
too.
song. That's the other song.
I feel like she's.
You get demerits for the Kid Rock song.
I'm also gonna go here. I feel like she's not in the contention because like I feel like she might have like some like duchessy status, but like at the same time she's so like not in that like this energy I'm looking for is like a little bit combative enery, a little bit of like
demanding the stage, demanding
and
taking the reins.
and you know, so Duchess at best for me.
Interesting. Got 3 left here.
All right.
One of the final 3 is Cher.
Oh,
Oh, queen.
Cher's a queen,
that's
man.
She's a
absolute.
queen.
Variety
day.
show, movies, Oscars, #1 hits.
The whole thing.
The only artist to have a #1 hit, I believe, in 5 successive decades.
Correct.
The oldest female artist to have a #1 hit with the song "Believe." I think she was like 52 years old.
My favorite.
Sonny and Cher show.
My favorite.
Moonstruck.
Mm-hmm.
The Witches of Eastwick. Is that what it's called? With Jack Nicholson.
Yeah.
Moonstruck, man. Oscars.
Yeah.
Wow.
So Queen Cher.
Queen.
Nice. Another one, Missy Elliott.
Diva. Huge.
Yeah, I would say Diva as well.
I'd say Diva.
I
Yeah.
wish she did more music, man. She like didn't release an album after. Well, she released an EP, I think, like 2 years ago. But she like her biggest like last big album. She was like 33 years old.
Yeah.
She's like only like 44 right now or something. She's like super
Yeah.
like.
So she could be
She
making
got, like,
more.
She got basically like fat shamed out of having a career.
Which is
Like during the worst part of the internet in like 2004.
Yeah.
Like she's excellent.
talented artist. Always been on that front.
Yeah.
And discovering new artists too.
Oh yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So
Can I-
Diva.
can I
wish she
ask-
was
Missy
still alive.
Elliott.
Can I ask you
Yeah.
one more before we leave?
Mm.
A newer artist,
I got
Ariana
2.
Grande. What is
There's a
her?
couple more.
Oh, you have a couple more?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I thought you said that was your last one.
We'll touch back into that though.
Touch back. Alex, give it to us.
I have. Well, yeah, we'll add a
Go
couple
for
more
it.
here.
Dido.
Dido, sorry.
Dido. Duchess.
Duchess.
You didn't know her name, so right away.
I
Duchess.
apologize.
I mean, she had that one album. I think the feature
Did
with
she have an
Eminem
album?
was bigger than the album itself. Also, I remember being like, "Oh, Dido," and my mom getting that Dido album, and I'm like, "Oh, that song's on here." And I hear the opening, and I'm like, "Yeah, it's like the Eminem song." And then it gets happy, and I'm like, "Fuck
Yeah.
this! This is awful."
It's a good song.
It is a good song.
Jeff, it's a
In
good
hi-
song.
listen. In hindsight, listening back to it, yeah, sure, it's a good song. But like that was it. That's like all she did.
If
I mean,
Dido rang this doorbell and yelled, "Hi, it's Dido," and then came in, I still wouldn't recognize her.
her tea's gone cold. Jeff, for crying out loud.
I love the couple songs I know.
I
Yeah.
love this segment.
All right, Alex, last one from you.
Yeah, here's a banger. Kesha.
Oh. I'm gonna say
Duchess.
I'm gonna
But
no.
just because you don't like her.
Crustus.
I'm gonna say I'm gonna say Kesha's on that diva status because she had the energy out the gate.
She has the diva energy. I'll give you that.
And she also has that energy where she has been not able to release her music, and I think she would have been more of like a constant in there. She has
Yeah.
a hardcore fan base that backs her up, that is still really into what she does.
Yeah.
Yeah, she has like a group of like Grateful Dead people that like paint themselves in glitter and go to all her shows and really back her up. So I'm gonna say she's big in that. I'm gonna say she's got at least a little diva energy for me.
I'm saying she's like a duchess with all the like merits though, because she's great, and the album that has the song "Praying" on it, which might have been her most recent album, is her best album in my opinion, where it's less of that like techno weirdo kind of outsider stuff. But
Yeah.
she's a duchess. She just hasn't done enough in my opinion.
Yeah, I would agree with Jeff. She's a Duchess in Diva's clothing.
All right. I'm going to throw one audible before
Yeah.
we mention Luke's. I just saw this one because I was scrolling through Spotify. Jessica Simpson.
Duchess.
She's just a can of tuna fish.
Is it chicken or? Yeah, I'm gonna
I
say.
can't
I'll
name
say Duchess
because I
too.
can't name you one Jessica Simpson song. Pure Duchess.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, she's
I
I
can't
mean, she had
name
the
you-
reality TV show, but
Can you name and can any of you name a Jessica Simpson song?
no, I can't. Can you? I found Ashley Simpson lip syncing on SNL more
I
entertaining
know,
than
I
all of
know.
Jessica
Yeah,
Simpson's
I know
career.
I know the Ashley Simpson song.
I'll share you a song.
too.
And I know you'll
pieces
know
of
it.
me.
These boots are made for walking.
Oh, that
We
cover.
all know that song.
Yeah.
Her cover of
That's
it.
She
like
did
a
for the-
famous song
the-
cover.
The Dukes of Hazzard
soundtrack.
I
Yep.
think something fell up into my undercarriage.
Yeah, I'm gonna say awful.
awful.
She's like, if she is a duchess,
She's the wench.
she's a duchess. She goes to the door, and the knights like cross the axes in front of her. She's not allowed to enter
Yeah.
into the court.
Yeah.
So lastly, we have Luke's suggestion here.
Yeah, let's do some today's. Throw out some audibles of
I wanted
today's
to do
people.
Ariana Grande. What do you guys think about Ariana Grande?
I think she's a
She's
diva.
a diva.
I'd say
Yeah.
Big hit maker.
I'd like that too. Diva,
Yeah.
consistent albums. Thank You Next was pure like snotty bratty attitude. I loved it.
Yeah.
Selena Gomez.
Duchess.
Duchess.
I just
Yeah.
don't know. Yeah, I can't even.
Because I
couldn't
can't
name
name
a
you the
single
song.
What about Taylor Swift?
Taylor Swift is I'm gonna just say it, not because I like it. She's a queen, man.
Yeah.
She's like one of the 5 biggest female artists of all time.
I think
Yeah.
that as well.
Yeah.
And again, I agree with Jeff. Not because I like it.
I
but,
want her
yeah.
to be a diva,
Me
but
too.
she's a queen.
Yeah. Check out our review on her last album too.
How about Miley Cyrus,
Oh, she didn't make my cut.
who in my opinion,
She
who in my opinion, she's a diva because she's a known face name. Like 5 seconds into her singing,
Yeah.
you know it's her.
Diva. She has a big
Yeah.
personality. She
Yeah.
always is doing stuff, still constantly
Yeah.
releasing music, whether whatever. Always hosts things.
Lighting joints on stage,
Yeah.
flipping people off.
How
doing all
about
kinds
how
of
about
inappropriate stuff.
Lizzo?
Ooh.
Ooh, I think Lizzo is a diva, but if she carries on and has like a
Adele.
really really great musical career that seemingly laying ahead of her, I think she could reach queen status.
I think she's. I'm gonna say Lizzo is like Duchessy queen,
'Cause
like
she's
into
new. Yeah, yeah.
queen. She's still
Yeah.
a little new. I could use like another 5 years to like blend into like the full like because this is my reasoning. Like when she goes to the Grammys, she's still like a little bit like I'm a big fan and I'm happy to be here. Where like she needs to like work into that like I am the Grammys, like I deserve all of them. And that's like more of that.
5 years.
Yeah.
I think.
It's growing. It's getting there.
How about
Yeah.
Lady Gaga?
Ooh, I think.
Right?
Oh,
I'm gonna
I think she might be a
Queen.
queen.
Queen?
I'm
I
gonna
think
say
she might be.
Ooh, I think she's like
She did the Tony Bennett thing to prove her chops.
She's on the.
Oh.
She's her album she made like 2 years
Star
ago.
is Born.
Star
Star
is
is Born.
Born.
She's
been-
about to be in the new Joker movie.
But
She's been grinding for a long time.
but the
Yeah.
Gucci movie was so bad.
but it was still like it's a swing that a big star makes. You know, like
Yeah, they can't all be
Going
singing.
And
for
she
it.
was the best part of it, I think.
yeah.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm gonna change my mind. You guys worked me all the way
Yeah, I
into a
think
queen.
I think she is a queen too. She's
All it took was that Tony Bennett.
yo. You gotta listen to the full album with him that she made like 2 years ago.
No. I only
It's
saw like the video.
it's like the
parts
best
of it and
vocal
stuff.
jazz album I've heard in a decade.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think there you have it, folks. I mean, who do you did we miss anybody? I don't know. I mean, I'm sure we missed a whole bunch of people.
If you
but-
want us to play this game with a list of people that you have, put them in the comments. We might do it.
maybe we'll do King, Duke, or
Oh yeah. Prince, because like Prince of Pop.
Ooh.
Yeah, Prince of Pop.
So
Yeah,
like
there
do
you
a,
go.
a Duke Prince King.
Be fun.
Not Earl.
Not Earl.
Elton John.
King.
Oh, the foil.
All right. Anyway, this has been Get in the Garage. Don't forget to like and comment and subscribe. Share the podcast with everybody and your
Pharmacist.
local pharmacist. Stay tuned for next week. We got new album reviews coming at you. It's gonna be an exciting year.
It is. I'm pumped.
Yeah,
I'm happy
pumped
just
too.
to be here.
Yeah, we're having a good time. Anyway, we'll see you guys next time. This has been Get in the Garage.